What's the feel like with the guys? Moving into this building, getting a few practices under your belt. Just how everybody's feeling after 2 days.
Everyone's feeling good. Just from the standpoint of just being in this new facility for one. Everyone feels really good and very excited to be in here. And with everything we have access to now, it just just going to benefit us even more. As far as practice, everyone's been doing well. I feel like we're way ahead than we were, the last 2 days starting camp last year. Everyone's been real locked in and mentally and physically, and I feel like everything's been going pretty smooth so far.
What are the biggest questions that you guys have to answer through the fall, or like things you have to learn about your team as you get ready for the start of the year?
I would just say how they're going to respond to adversity. With one of those being kind of how we're now in this new facility. Everything with NIL and just things of that nature. I feel like there's gonna be some things that we just have to overcome, and we're still working around COVID, and that can definitely play a factor from who's here and who's not, and but I feel like one of the biggest things is just overcoming adversity, and just kind of how we did last year. We were picked second to last out of everyone. And no one gave us a shot. Now that we kind of have a name for ourselves and we have a target on our back, I feel like people are really going to be aiming for us and gunning for us. But at the end of the day, I feel like that's just going to come down to us and winning the day. Like Coach Shirley always said, we just got to win the day. We got to pound the fist. We just got to go to work and punch the clock.
Coach Trailer mentioned that when you have all these returning seniors and then you bring in a new freshman class, there's a lot of scholarship guys and a lot of talented players who are going to feel like they deserve an opportunity. How do you guys sort of manage that some guys are going to get pushed down the depth chart? Or, how do you keep the morale high when some people aren't going to have the opportunity that they want?
Well, I feel like with that, one of our culture pillars being, selfless. People are going to have to be selfless and just understand, that, things take time and, especially with our people, our seniors that came back as super seniors. I think our leadership is going to have to be at an all-time high, and I feel like those guys have really been doing that so far, just leading the team, on the field, making sure everybody's flying around, being where they're supposed to be, no one's lacking, and then off the field as well, making sure everyone's on time to meetings and stuff like that. But just stuff like that, I feel like it's just going to take time, and you just gotta have some patience. But at the end of the day, you gotta be selfless and know, like it's not all about you. You gotta put the team before yourself, and I feel like that's gonna be something that is instilled in us already, so I feel like we won't have any problems with that.
Have you already, or are you going to have to talk to some of your teammates about that, about kind of like keeping a level head or stick with it or be patient or whatever it may be?
We kind of talk about it, every day, just from, in meetings and on the field and stuff like that. But like I said, I feel like we won't really have any problem with it, but, we definitely go over it, day to day, especially when we go into our culture pillars. But our coaches and, everyone else on the team, like I said, the leadership of this team are being our super seniors. I feel like they do a great job of that and making sure that, no one gets too big-headed for, and tries to act like they're above the team, because at the end of the day, we're all one, and, and you got to put the team before yourself.
I want to talk to you about some of the NIL stuff. It's an interesting deal. What was your kind of reaction when calendar flips to July 1st and a lot of those rules change? What was your kind of first steps that you took?
I was really just wondering how all this was going to work out myself. Honestly, just from a standpoint of how people are going to, try to come at me, how I'm going to approach people, and, just how everything's going to work out as far as, having what we have to do with whatever we get as far as, like, paying taxes and stuff on top of that. We have a program, Runners Go Bold, and, our people here have done a great job with making sure we were prepared for all of this, just from, kind of like what Sincere touched on, just with the models of, going over stuff. We had a Zoom meeting with a financial advisor as well. So I feel like, July 1st hits and, everyone's kind of just like, well, what happens now? But I feel like everyone's done a great job with adjusting to it and, trying to set us up to, be in the best position possible to, take on deals and also knowing, like, how to go about them.
So were you reaching out to other people, or did they kind of reach out to you? How did a lot of your stuff come together?
Kind of both. I reached out to a couple of people. Some people reached out to me, and from there on, we kind of just discussed, kind of our agreement, and so far I feel like things been going well for me. I have a couple different deals going on, and they've been treating me good, and at the same time I feel like I've done, been holding my part, to my end of the agreement. So everything's been going smooth from that aspect.
Yeah, I saw you have, I guess there's Ancira, you just did one with Ford. I think you were were you part of the BSA Sports Labs
Yes.
group as well? And then what am I missing? What are the other ones that you have?
Fritz Kennels. I also partner with one of my close friends. He's a barber, Demarion Clark. I partner with him, and I think that's probably about the only ones I have right now. But I'm not really too worried about getting any more. Trying to see what else I can get. My focus now is back towards football and just making sure that we're ready for the season come week 1.
You mentioned a barber. How did that deal come together? Or what do you do for that?
I just go get my hair cut, and every time I get a cut, I just post about and trying to promote his business. And I feel like he's one of the better barbers in the city, so I would definitely want to try to put his work out there. I also have a deal with the Neighborhood Heroes barbershop right down the street over here. And I'm good friends with the owners over there too, Jordan McCook and Vincent Taylor. Vincent actually plays in the league, so we kind of work something out with them. Me, Sincere, and Frank are all part of it, and they're definitely one of the better barbershops I feel in the city as well too. And kind of the environment when you walk in, just from kind of like the atmosphere, like kind of how the barbershop set up, and then I know that Jordan's gonna take care of whoever we send over there. So they kind of came to us about that deal, and we was all with it from the jump.
How much, if you don't mind sharing, are you making through all these different avenues?
Yeah.
You don't have to. I mean, I don't know if each individually or if there's a ballpark figure, whatever you're more comfortable with.
Well, so with each deal, we kind of agree on different terms and stuff. Some are paying me, and others just like swapping services or some merch deals like that. But it's really whatever we decide to agree on, and whatever really works for me. I don't really try to get too much into that. I'm more just big of trying to help them out and promote their business as well, and in the back end they just get to trying to compensate me for that.
How did the NFT thing come together? That's a really kind of unique deal. I haven't seen that from other people.
So my older brother, Sean, he's real big into cryptos and things of that nature. So one of the things that he felt like would be a really good thing to capitalize on and jump on would be an NFT. And I kind of talked about it on my podcast, Out of This World. If y'all haven't seen it, check it out, please, on Spotify. But he kind of talked about it on there, and it's kind of just like, a digital collectible. People go around collecting Pokemon cards, football cards, basketball cards, and, things of that nature. And that's all NFT really is, just a digital version of one of those, essentially. And, there's a lot of different ones you can go get. I know there's some people have like digital, like action figures, stuff like that, but that's really all it is. And, they're limited in a sense, so makes them have a little bit more value. And as the season goes through, like for mine specifically, the value can increase, decrease, just on a lot of different things depending on how I'm playing and just how many more are out there available. So, but the NFT was definitely, I feel like it was a definitely good idea, and credit to my older brother for having that idea and trying to capitalize on it.
How does the transactional part of that work? Does anybody who buys it, does the money go straight to you, or how does that really work?
So I believe when we put it up, we made it to some a small little percentage of Ethereum, which is a crypto, and so with that, I believe it comes back to me, but I haven't touched any of it. I just wanted to sit and just try to build up, but we have to go into one of the crypto wallets and stuff like that. It's a lot to go through, but yeah, it's with me, but I haven't touched it. I'm just letting it sit and trying to see what else happens with it.
Yeah, it's a crazy world. Well, if you got some, I know it's going up. It's good for you.
I have one so far. Hopefully some more sell over the season.
Right. So you heard me ask Sincere this, but if you were in high school now and being recruited, would it be important to you to see that athletes out of school are having these opportunities and that this stuff is out there?
I would say no. Kind of like what Sincere said, my main priority, coming to school is for, my education and for football. And at the same time, I feel like a school doesn't have as big of a impact in The whole NIL stuff, I feel like that's more of like a personal thing, like a personal brand, and kind of just like with the schools, they can't be too affiliated with it. It's more of us and our personal stuff. So, looking from it from that standpoint, I would say no, just because I feel like it's more of a personal brand thing and how you brand yourself. And on top of that, you come in here for school and football, so I feel like that wouldn't make a big difference. I'm pretty sure for some people they probably look at it like that, but for me personally, I would say no.
And have you been really kind of open with your teammates about opportunities you've had in the process, or do you guys kind of keep that to yourself and everybody has their own little individual deals?
So I keep the specifics of my deals to myself, but I definitely try to help out my teammates however I can with getting deals or helping them trying to get deals. Just like how to reach out to people or ask them how to engage in trying to get a deal. And from that point, I try to just let them do their thing, but I try to keep it to to a minimum because because it's one thing that I have going on, and they could have their own stuff going on, and I want to see everybody succeed at the end of the day. But I just feel like that's something that they have to take on, kind of on their own part as well. But I definitely try to help them as much as I can, just as far as getting them deals or any deals that I have. I try to tell those people, like, look at some of my other teammates as well.
Rashad, if I may, you mentioned earlier adversity along with the NIL, the new facilities, the how the team performed last year with have a target on your back, and even with the value of your own NFT. Is it fair to say that the adversity this year is the expectations on your individual self and the team? Is that the adversity this year, where last year it was kind of being overlooked?
I would say the adversity this year for us as a team was just, like I said, now we have a target on our back. Now we're being gunned after, and just in that standpoint, I feel like to overcome that, like I said, we just gotta stay focused. Don't get too big headed on ourselves, because like moving into a facility like this, you can get big headed quick with all the new stuff that we have and all the luxuries that come with it. But I feel like we just gotta stay focused. Can't get too big headed, and that just goes back to the leadership of this team, how strong that would be in the culture. We've talked about it. I think we talked about it yesterday. We said that our culture is contagious, and it goes from Coach Traylor to the coaching staff to the support staff, from the trainers, and goes through us. And Coach Traylor kind of touched on it. In a program, you can't have any cracks within the culture, and I feel like everybody does a great job with upholding the culture and the culture pillars that we live by. So I feel like with everything that the new adversity against us and everything else that we have to deal with, I feel like if we stay focused and don't worry about anything else, we'll be good.
How much do you think about the NFL? Is that something that's on your mind as you enter the year?
That's always been on my mind ever since I was a little kid. That's been a big dream of mine. But as far as this year, it's definitely on my mind for sure. But just trying to take it one day at a time. We still got to get through fall camp, get through a whole season, and whatever else may happen after that. So, I just try to take it one day at a time, and live in the now, and handle what I got to handle now, and everything else will take care of itself in the end.
Have you gauged, like, if you would be in line to have a shot after the year, or if you might get some looks? Is there any way you can kind of get a grasp of that?
Yeah, for sure. I like nowadays. Everyone sees everything. We're all on social media. We're all on Twitter, Instagram, and people can definitely send you things and here and there. But so yeah, we definitely see all the stuff, and I definitely try to look at who else is in my position, and see what they're doing and stuff like that. But like I think I touched on this one other time, and I said, all that stuff really depends on how you use it. And in my case, I use it as motivation, just to, go even harder, throughout the season and for the team, and, just keep on pushing day by day. Like I said, my focus right now is getting through fall camp and, trying to get through the season. But, everybody sees it, like, so if someone's saying, like, they don't really pay attention to it, I would say that's not really true, because we all see it, but it really just goes off of how you use it. Either you can use it in a good way or in a bad way. And for me, I use it as motivation, and a reason to keep going and keep pushing harder.
Is there anything specific that you have to do or prove to be more projectable to that level? Like any specific skills or areas of your game you have to develop?
I would say, for me, I would just say, just keep on doing what I'm doing. I feel like I do a good job of that as far as, being one of the leaders on the team. Just being good at doing the little things. That's just from, being on time to stuff, taking care of my business on and off the field. And, from a football standpoint, I feel like I just got to keep working on the little things, my incidents with, tackling and stuff like that. I got to improve on that. And then just, really just working the X's and O's, the schematic part of football and what we do specifically. And, at the end of the day, I really would like to be like an extension of a coach on the field. I've said it before, kind of just like when they make a call, I know why they make it, I see what they kind of see and stuff like that. So I feel like, that's where I really would like to gain at, is being more of a coach on the field and having that understanding is like, okay, they called this for this reason. They're in the offense is in, this formation, and I'm kind of seeing it in my head the way that they're seeing it, up in the box and on the field, and as they're doing game plans, I see the same things that they do.
Rashad, you kind of touched on the fact that you need to work on your tackling a little. You play a very physical game. You're very aggressive, and that's kind of part of what leads to your success, but also can kind of get you in trouble. So how do you really find that balance to still be effective as your play style, but stay on the field?
I would say the best thing that I can do with that is just taking my opportunities a little bit differently. Not every hit has to be a big hit. And so from that, there's different ways to tackle. There's roll tackles and, ways to keep your head out of it and still get people on the ground and stuff like that. So I would definitely try to work on those other different tackles and just know that not every tackle has to be a big tackle at the end of the day. As long as the ball carrier gets on the ground, that's really what matters most.
And I was going to say, you mentioned also, you guys are starting to get ready for week one. You got actually a pretty big opportunity in week one. You're going on the road, Big Ten opponent. Illinois, mostly average, but, still Power 5. You guys are going, I think, geographically the farthest north you've been in at least 6 or 7 seasons. So how big of an opportunity is this for you guys to get a test like this so early in the season when you have these expectations on you?
I think it would be good for us. Open up with a good of an opponent as Illinois will be. Like you said, they're Power 5. They're in the Big Ten conference, and going up there and getting a win would start our season off right, and especially coming back home week 2 and playing Lamar. I feel like that would be an opportunity for us to really pack up the dome and really get a jump on the season. But that starts now, and kind of like I was telling the guys, if we want to be able to do that, we got to. That starts now, and that starts in camp. We can't be out here messing around, and when it's time to work, we got to get our work in, and we got to get going. But being able to go up there and play Illinois and have that opportunity is definitely going to be big, and we're very excited for it.
Thank you, Rashad.
I want to go back to your comment on being a coach on the field. Have you talked to Coach Traylor about being able to make adjustments from your position on the field and how those opportunities can grow throughout the season?
No, I have not. For me, I would want to really leave that for them. Because at the end of the day, that's what they do. They're really students of the game, and that's what they do. I really just want to be able to understand why they're making the call, see what they're seeing, and then relay that to everybody else so we're all on the same page. And when we're on the field, we're flying around and, we're playing fast and we're getting to it without, like lack of communication or not knowing our assignments. We're all on the same page. We all see the same things. And like I said, we're all out there flying around and having fun at the end of the day.
All right, thanks, Rashad.
Thanks, Rashad. I appreciate it.